So I want to pose an interesting question that I think has really started to take off in recent years, and it's become especially evident this season and now in the postseason, really.
Miami! From mission control, we have liftoff. Phinhub! Phinhub! We talking Dolphin City! Phinhub, Phinhub! Yeah! It's that Dolphin Show! Phinhub!
Welcome to the Phinhub Show, the one NFL podcast you can't leave off your roster. Now here's your host, Joey and Kevin Tejedo.
All right, welcome to the Phinhub Show, powered by BetUS. If you guys haven't already, make sure to check out BetUS and use code YouTube150 for 150% bonus on your first deposit. The next two deposits will be for 125% bonuses, so make sure to check out BetUS and use code YouTube150. Get started on BetUS today. Okay, let's look at the four remaining teams in the championship round. We got the Commanders with Jaden Daniels. We got the Eagles with Jalen Hurts. We got the Buffalo Bills with Josh Allen. And we got the Kansas City Chiefs with Patrick Mahomes. What is the common theme with every single quarterback? They are all dual threat quarterbacks. They can all throw the ball and run the ball. They're also durable. The Eagles have the tush push, which the Miami Dolphins could only dream of. Josh Allen is an absolute beast, whether you like him or don't. The guy is a train. He's something different. Patrick Mahomes is Patrick Mahomes doing his sideline moves, trying to get that contact so the refs can pull the flag. We don't have a guy like that, obviously. And then we got the Commanders rookie, Jaden Daniels, who's been absolutely terrific in all areas. And I think the question is, do you need a dual threat quarterback in the NFL to be successful at this moment in time? Is the NFL changing in a way where what you need to be successful, at least have long-term success in the NFL and really make that deep playoff push, do you need a dual threat quarterback to be successful? That is the question right now, and I think the answer is starting to become quite evident. The Miami Dolphins obviously do not have that with Tua Tagovailoa, and I don't think it's that he can't make plays on his feet. It's just that even if he does, it could end up in a season-ending injury, or at the bare minimum, it could end up on IR where you have to lose 4 games. And whether he should have been on a concussion protocol or not, the NFL, for whatever reason, maybe it's optics, maybe it's something else, they just don't want that happening with Miami and Tua and his concussion drama. So the NFL has evolved. The Miami Dolphins, I feel, at this point in time, do need to take a serious look at their starting quarterback, at Tua Tagovailoa, at the situation at hand, and take a piece out of everyone else's playbook. This is something that the NFL is doing. You need to have a dual threat quarterback at this point. And unfortunately, Tua is not that guy anymore. Do you need a dual threat quarterback in the NFL to be successful? I think the answer has become yes. And there's been this criticism, obviously, of Tua, and rightfully so. Can he stay healthy? I think we've got our answer now. I love Tua. I think his game is great. But at the end of the day, we have to see what we have. And the offensive line is an issue. But I also want to take into account that even with the best offensive line in the NFL, there's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 plays. Even with the best offensive line in the NFL, there's going to be 5 plays through the course of the season where that line is going to break down and your quarterback is going to have to move outside the pocket or step up, maybe go for a run. Something is going to have to happen where he's going to have to drag out a play. And in those moments, can Tua stay healthy? These are the things that we worry about going into yet another season with Tua under center. We see what these guys are doing. We see what the top teams in the NFL have at quarterback, and this is now what we have to deal with. We have to face this reality. Is this a way to win football? Is this a way to have a continuous successful team? I don't know if we have that anymore. So what do you do about it? Do you go into the draft and draft somebody this season? Do you maybe let it play out another season and wait for Archie Manning? I don't know. That's been thrown around quite a lot. And I think that's interesting too. But man, to wait another season, why not take a chance this year, take a chance next year? I mean, you whiff on picks anyway. You might as well whiff on the most important position in the NFL. I mean, even if the guy that you whiff on, you can still trade this guy. They're young prospects. There's going to be a quarterback-hungry team that's going to want to take a chance on him. So I say the Miami Dolphins should be doing that. And look, Tua's going to be under contract for the next few seasons. Let it play out. Develop this guy that you drafted and see what you could do with him. If it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out. You whiff on a pick. If Tua balls out, Tua balls out. Either way, he's going to be on the team. I say you got to draft a kid, see where it goes. But obviously the NFL has changed, and the dual threat quarterback is the way to go in this NFL. Look at those last 4 teams. What are we talking about here, man? So the Dolphins have been a mess for what seems like an eternity. And in my opinion, it doesn't look like they're going to be getting any better anytime soon. In fact, I think it's going to get much worse before it gets any better. We have quite a few things happening amongst the coaches. And I know it's not the funnest of talks, but it is important. So Anthony Weaver might be leaving the Miami Dolphins. And I think it's starting to become a reality here. Joe Brady, the offensive coordinator for the Buffalo Bills, recently opted out of the Saints head coaching job, and that spells a nightmare for Miami because they could be losing their defensive coordinator for a 6th year in a row, or at least changing a defensive coordinator. That is not a way to build a consistent team. Obviously it's literally inconsistency there. So how do you expect a defense to be consistently good? They're just not. You just can't do that. This is not good for the development of young guys like Chop Robinson, and it's just not something you want on the team. Now, the reality is you got to go where the money goes if you're Anthony Weaver. So let's see what happens, but it's not great. It's not great news. There's a lot of inconsistencies with the Miami Dolphins on both sides of the ball, and we've seen it. When the offense looks good, the defense looks bad. When the defense looks good, the offense looks bad. We even have special teams issues. So there really isn't any consistent level of play from all 3 sides of the ball. And this would mean another inconsistency on that side. Among some of the coaching changes, we just lost Wes Welker, or fired Wes Welker, which was a head scratcher to me. I know some people just didn't care for it, but I found that pretty interesting. The Miami Dolphins did not have a healthy wide receiver all year long. Tyreek Hill now comes out and says that he had a wrist injury all season that he sustained in preseason. We know Jalen Waddle has been in and out of the lineup due to injuries. Eric Ezukanma never saw the field. River Craycraft didn't get there till half the season. OBJ, I think, was active on week 5 or 6. The same for Malik Washington. Even guys that we brought in halfway through the season eventually got banged up. Grant Dubois, and there was a few other guys, but that's a hard task to deal with if you're Wes Welker. And even still, I thought they did it for that problem to surface. I thought he did a pretty decent job with the wide receivers. And there's plenty of issues on the team than to pick on Wes Welker and say, like, just fire the guy. The only thing that remains consistent here is Chris Greer, which is also a head scratcher. But, there's so many things that can happen this offseason. Let's see where it goes. We're going to enjoy the ride or not. But I want to know what your guys' thoughts are. What is it that the Miami Dolphins should do? But that's going to do it for today's episode, guys. If you haven't already, make sure to check out BetUS and use code YouTube150 for 150% bonus on your first deposit. The next few deposits will be for 125% bonuses. So make sure to check out BetUS and use code YouTube150 on BetUS today. We'll catch you in the next one, guys. Fins up.